discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, this video is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering you a free audiobook with a 30-day free trial membership. All you need to do is go to audibletrial.com/BGUnlocked. The link is in the description below, and now enjoy the video. Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Between Two Cities and its expansion, Between Two Cities Capitals. Dude, once again, Stonemaier just knocks games out of the park. I really like this game. And like and I bought this actually kind of on a whim, because watching it I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And when I watched it, because I was watching a run through for it, I was like, that doesn't seem that fun. But it's Stonemaier, and I'm like, they haven't steered me wrong yet. So, because I think I like Scythe is my favorite game. This is fantastic. Euphoria is great. I know you don't care for that one too much, but Euphoria is a lot of fun. And so I just think this has a really neat concept. What do you guys think of the building a city like together?
I really like that aspect. I thought it was neat. It's pretty interesting as a 3-player. Because like you're not against anyone. You need to work with everyone at the table. But at the same time, you can't show any favoritism.
Exactly. Because that's also I think that's the best. Because obviously, especially in a 3-player game, I think it works really great for that reason. Because if this was your best city gives you the most points, then obviously one person would just get fucked the entire game. But because it's your lowest score, you have to divvy out strategies equally. So like there were times throughout the run through that I was even helping you guys over there because like I wanted the best for this one, but I also wanted the best for that one. So even though that city had nothing to do with me, like if she only tried to focus that one, it's like wait, hold on. What if you put that tile over there? Because if you only focus that one, then you'll fuck yourself over here, and that's only going to hurt you and hurt me. Somehow they figured out a way to make a 3-player game work really well. Kind of like Seven Wonders. If you remember Seven Wonders at all, the card drafting game about when you're trying to build the wonders. I think that game works really well as a 3-player game too, for the very same reason, because both sides are your neighbors and you're not really trying to fuck each other. So you benefit by trying.
I don't know if I remember that game right. I think I was getting pretty fucked.
I don't remember.
Was it the attack cards and shit?
That was so yes.
Anyway, that's off topic.
But both sides are your neighbors, so you can use people's resources from one another. And the reason why I bring up Seven Wonders and compare it to this is because in a big multiplayer game, because this plays up to 7, you like in a big player game. I don't care about if there's a 4th player. I don't care what they're doing. I mean, because they indirectly affect me because their tiles will eventually come to me. But you let her out. She's barking, and she's hit the bell multiple times.
She's the one who hold it.
She does put her in her kettle then.
That's not how she wants her to hold it, outside of her kettle.
And I just don't want to hear the barking.
I fucked up a point. No, that's where we were tied. So.
Actually, I wonder how you break ties. I'm curious about that.
It probably goes off whoever has the
first tiebreaker. Tied players compare the scores of their higher scoring, which we would have been tied there too. Second, winners add and compare the quantity of buildings by type. Oh, that sounds annoying. So. Don't ever get a dog. I think I've mentioned it to you multiple times. Even if Marcy is like, I really want to just be like, shut the fuck up.
Just powder my hand, powder the glove, and just give her a good old.
Like, fuck it.
Yep.
Just not enough to leave a mark. Just enough to let her know that you're not getting a dog. Because it's fucking. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I'm in too deep, so I can't get rid of her.
Yeah, I think I will talk myself out of it.
Especially when you come over here. It's just like, ugh.
Maybe like a lazy dog, maybe.
Yeah,
But
like an
not
old
actually,
one, like
yeah.
go for the pound and be like, hey, this one's 6 years old, I think I'll take it. But with an older dog, you kind of don't know what you're getting. You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
and they start shitting themselves, they have diabetes.
Yeah, well, I was
you're
saying,
going
they're
put
aggressive,
down.
they kill Marcy's cats and Ember.
Yeah. And Ember,
Yeah.
they kill everyone.
Yeah.
It's just like cleaning a blade. It's like
Rubbing it across its face.
Like, how? You don't have opposable thumbs. That's
like-
where you're wrong, kiddo.
Loading fucking ammo cartridge. Yeah, that's what you get with old beat up dogs.
Psychopaths all.
Wow, what a surprise! It's taken forever too.
Damn, 1 point. Fucking hospital. Shitty park. It was a nice clutch middle school there.
Wasn't it? Like I was like, oh,
6 points, which is
Yeah, this one did really well. Did she go?
Yeah.
Did she go poop too?
No.
Okay.
I just had to pee. Is
Gotcha.
this
Yeah, so stop it. Anyway, so what I was saying was, I bring up Seven Wonders because in a 3-player game, we all affect each other, and everything's interesting. In a multiplayer game, especially with more people, half the players I don't care about because I'm not building their cities. I'm not doing anything, so they don't affect me really in any way, except for the tile drafting, which is negligible because I don't know what they have. So I can't, like, whenever I hand you a stack, I know what you have, and you can even plan in your strategy. It's like, well, I want to pick these two because that's the best but I will leave, like, whenever I left a park open for her, I was like, well, what I'm going to place is better, but on her turn, she can place a park over here, and you can strategy. You can't do that with more people. So I actually really like these games at 3 players. Hey, what do you think?
Oh, just player-wise?
Not player-wise, but about like the like mechanic, the building 2 cities and lower score and all that.
Yeah, I think that's interesting because that's just right up my alley. You know, I like to encourage cooperative behaviors.
It's almost semi-cooperative, which is another plus because semi-co-ops don't really ever work.
Except for when they're being truly cooperative.
Right, yeah, then they're no longer semi. Yeah. Nemesis was one game that worked really well at semi, but like very rarely do they ever. And yeah, like I just really like the tile laying aspect of this game and the cohesion of everything. I also like the way that every tile scores completely different. And that you just have a bunch of different avenues to build. Pretty much you kind of have a focus from your very first tile placement. Like, it's like from the first pair of tiles, it's like, okay, this is kind of, I guess, the route we're going. And we hope...
get some taverns, it's like, well...
Yeah, we hope that it works. So, I mean, do you guys have any negatives with the game?
I mean, honestly, not really.
Yeah, like, I can't...
It's a very inoffensive game.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean...
I was like, and by not really, I guess I mean no, because...
Yeah, there's replayability, just how the tiles are coming out, like cohesion in gameplay. It's a simple game to also learn.
And it's definitely very, puzzly. It's like you have to try and think of,
Exactly.
okay, what's going to be best, future down the line.
Yeah, and also
I put this over here.
How you're placing your tiles,
right?
Because like if you're going to play it like this, it's like, oh, we kind of just fucked ourselves by making in the base game our row of 4 already. I like the 2 tile system because one, there's a bunch in here, and and it's just like they can definitely very much help you or hurt you, but mainly help you. Like, there's just an avenue for multiple ways to score points, unlike Imaginarium, which we just played. Like, this one, it's just like, okay, this doesn't really help, but, like, there were multiple times you were like, what if we just put a park in here, and it'll just boost our house points? It's like, oh, yeah, okay. Like, the other part doesn't really help, but that part does, and you just kind of have to balance it out. Yeah, I just really like the puzzle aspect between the 2 cities. But I can't think of any negatives. What? Oh, so, moving on to the expansion, obviously the two biggest things are the landscapes and the districts. Oh, and the civic tiles. So we'll talk about each of those individually. Landscape tiles, what do you guys think?
It just gives you a little more to think about, really. I like how it lets you build. I mean, I guess it's not really a bigger... I mean, it is kind of bigger. It's Tile-wise, like, versus the original game, it was 4x4.
Yeah, and this one's 5x5.
Yeah, I mean... 3, 4, 5, so it's like 5 if you lose... I mean, it's just a bigger landscape to build on.
Yeah.
With just something to kind of flavor it up a little.
Yeah, because...
It's not too bad.
I actually like it. So with the expansion, what I really like is the game was simple enough to learn and still a lot of fun to play. I'm glad the expansion didn't just, like, blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, add too much to it. It literally just added, like, a couple things that just gave you more to think about.
Mm-hmm. Certainly makes it a higher scoring game with a bigger city to work with.
I completely agree too, because the last time we played this, I think we were in like the 30s or 40s, and Kat ended up winning because you and I were like, oh, all focus, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this one. But what do you think about the landscape tiles?
Yeah, I think they're interesting. I think it kind of adds a little flavor to the plot.
Well, because they add a bunch. There's more in the game, and they're all completely different shapes, which I think is really one. It pretties up the game, which is nice, and it gives every single city a uniqueness to it, because like this one we had to build this way, and that one we had to build kind of the opposite, but we had a little bit more. I like how they have bridges to make other tiles adjacent, and yeah, I really liked it. So, what do you guys think of the civic tiles?
I like them. They certainly give you a little more to think about. Just a nice little cash in if you can place them just right. Just something to mix it up a little.
Yeah,
from those who have played it before and are like, okay, I kind of get the game now. Add those a little twist to it.
Yeah, I completely agree, and that's all the expansion added were civic tiles.
Yeah.
So because in a game like this, you don't want too much. You don't want too many ways to score points because then it just gets busy. But yeah, like you look at it and you're like, oh, okay, these are going to get me 1, 3, or 6 points, depending on how I place them. So once again, just a little bit more to the puzzle. What about you?
I agree with the puzzle part, like, because it just again it encourages you to just really think about what you're doing, because like there's 3 civic centers over there, but there's only 1 over here, which hurts because you want them to be as balanced. Like you want to achieve just perfect balance in this game.
Feng shui.
Yes. You want your chakras to be aligned. You want to meditate an hour before.
Right, exactly. And there were 4 over here, and just by sheer luck, it was like, oh, that's perfect right there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they kind of hinder you, because if you get them, you're like, okay, I can place them here, but then you kind of focus around what they are.
Yeah.
Because they're still in the pool. They're still rotating. So it's like you're handing them off to your partner. And
yeah, and then it's like, okay, so we have to build around these, and we can't build this next to it. So it kind of blocks like your availability of areas.
It's probably just best to not play a civic center for like, I'd say maybe definitely the first, pushing onto probably the first 2 rounds.
Really?
Yeah, mainly because then you don't, because this is the thing about puzzles. Oh, she's outside. I mean, someone's outside of our house. The thing I like about puzzles is naturally you just, obviously you want to do the best that you can, but like if I had placed that there first, then it would dictate. Like I would want to place a factory up there, but then there would be so much pressure to be like, where's the business center gonna go? Like where's the office gonna go? So whereas the office was there first, I think, or maybe it was with that one.
I think the office
was
there first.
The office was there first. Yeah, then I placed that one, so there wasn't as much pressure. And then it's like, okay, then we can put a park there. That's how I play puzzle games. That's why I exceed. Because you don't have your objective and build around it. You build and then you try to.
That's interesting.
Blend.
Yeah, that's actually a really neat way of thinking of it.
That's how my brain.
Because I was thinking the opposite. Like I was thinking, you place your civic tiles first, and then you build around that.
Well, it's like going with the civic tile when you already have like one of the conditions met.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it infinitely easier.
This is just the difference between you and I.
Right.
I like to go with the flow, and you like to really plan it out.
Because whenever I placed, I think the very first thing I placed was the treasury.
Mm-hmm.
It was a civic tile, but I didn't plan too far ahead because I picked the treasury and like the shop.
I think it started with the post office.
Oh, sorry, yeah, it was the post office.
And
because I did the post office in the house, and then I was like, wait a minute, I can't put these both in the same city, so crap, I need to focus it.
Yeah.
But I had also picked a civic, so I think it worked out.
Right, and then we also, because also it's the negative aspect of it, so whenever I handed you 3 civic centers and that was it, I was like, your best bet is to literally just look at the negative, because that's what's going to hurt you the most. And because it's going to take up a spot that could have been used for something else, and it is only going to give you a point.
Yeah. Which I got pretty lucky.
And there's still like a bunch of tiles in the box that gives us just a huge variety of different things. So I really like the civic tiles as well, and I even like them with the landscape tiles because it just added even more puzzle, but still. Such a really good balance because it's not like it was too puzzly. Like you weren't sitting here like, okay, so if I do this and then like multiple times. I think there was a couple times where it took like us maybe a little bit longer, but that was like towards the end of the round.
Yeah.
And early game.
Early game when it was just there's so many things we could do and we're like, don't fuck this
up. So once you get a little bit more, then like there were times where I pick it up and just be like, bam, like these are obviously what I need to place here.
Right.
Landscape tiles are good. Civic tiles are good. What do you guys think of the districts?
Who gives a shit about the districts? Those were so annoying to pay attention to.
I felt like that just gave it a little bit of like, if we just inadvertently built this way, congratulations.
Yeah, you think that was just like a little notch over?
I think that was just a hair too much.
I kind of agree. I think that with the districts, they wanted to give you more I guess.
Kind of think about
goals in your city.
Yeah.
But the problem with the districts is they are kind of a second thought. Like everything else is so focused and so centered that you're on that, and then it's like, oh yeah, like we also have to think of that. So in this particular game, it was just like, oh hey, luck of the way they came out. But I mean, obviously there's 7 cards of these, so they get shuffled and randomly paired up. So it does give you more variety, more ways to. It adds probably a notch above, like where we think this is perfect, even with the landscapes and civic tiles and everything else. This would give it, if we played it all the time, this would add more to that. And you don't have to play with these. But if you're like, well, I want a little bit more thought process behind it, so yeah, now you add this. And now whenever you're building, it's like, oh, let's go for districts. But even then, it gives you that choice of like, because you can't split it up unless you tried to do like first place, second place with both your cities. But yeah, since you can't really share points, I didn't much care for the districts either. Like the only reason I won was just luck on these. Because it was like, I got first place here, I got first place here, I got second place here, and the third one gives you the most points for second place, and you got first on only that one, so you got the 7, but you were just like 3 points behind, so I just barely sneaked past you on that. So yeah, I think for future games I wouldn't play with the districts, but I would keep the landscape and the civic tiles because it still gives you a lot of variety and feng shui.
Sparks joy.
But I mean, other than that, like, I think just a nice aesthetic touch. I actually kind of like these score markers. Like, I just think they're neat because it gives it like a little bit of a theme because it's like this is the city's in Essen, Germany.
It represents that city.
Yeah, I think that's neat, and I'm bummed out that I don't have all of them. So at Gen Con, I'm gonna stop by Stonemeyer and be like, "Give me your between two cities, all of them." Give it to me! Drag him over the counter.
There's like a bowl of like, if you're missing these pieces,
take them, and I'm just like dragging him and just like wailing on him. So with that being said, scale of 1 to 10, we'll start with we'll start with me this time. I never start. But I want to give it, I want you guys to give it a score without capitals and then with it. Is that so hard to ask, Kat?
Yeah.
Why?
I gotta break it up.
8. There, I jumped ahead.
Okay, for which one? Base game? I literally just said I want to score with that one and with this one.
Well, it was a really fun game. Like, easy to bring to the table. Super simple. With just enough puzzle. It just felt great. I always love these nice little bite-sized games. Yeah.
But you don't like Sagrada, huh?
No, I don't. No one you can win with a broken window.
I agree with that.
Anyway.
That just shows how shitty your window was, is that a broken window was
so
more glorious.
That just shows how much dick you sucked to get your window.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was, never mind. Anyway.
So I'm doing a, and for the base game, yeah, I'm doing an 8. Because, like, I remember we played this before, and I enjoyed the base game. And I felt like the expansions only added more variety and, more replayability.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely flavored it back up if it had grown stale for you and you were a fan of the previous port.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it definitely increases playability. So definitely, I'd say it's still an 8.
It's still an 8?
Yeah, it's added to it.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Both. I mean, I still want to keep. I would play this again.
Absolutely. So I said add an 8 with the base game. With the base game. With the base game. And I'm gonna give it a 9 with capitals. Mm-hmm. Like, even though the districts, like, I didn't hate this by any means. Like, it wasn't like Mother of Dragons for Game of Thrones, where it literally just trashed and shit on the base game. Like, this is a perfect example of an expansion. Because it only adds just enough to give you variety, but not too much where it's now bloated.
And it doesn't fix the game.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you.
I know that pisses
that
me off.
does piss me off because it's like, no, you have to play with the expansion. It's like, it should have been good on its own.
You should have had it in the game.
More. Yeah.
You should have been there.
And that's a perfect example. And in all reality, I cannot think of another way that they could make, like, maybe some more tiles, like the civic tiles I think are cool, but, like, some people might be like, no, I like personal objective. I like, that would trash this game.
Yeah, well, because then it wouldn't make sense. Yeah.
That's also true. So, like, this is it's such a solid game. Man, yeah, I really, really like it.
Yeah. And
with capitals, but I can't go above a 9 because the districts still kind of bring it down because that is in the expansion. So 8 base game, it's a 9 with capitals for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's an 8.5 with base, and then oh no, sorry, backwards. An 8 with the base game, 8.5 with capitals.
With capitals.
Yeah. Because I did like capitals, all aside of it's not that I disliked that. It was just
it
was just afterthought. I looked over it and I was like, I don't care.
Because whenever you strategize, especially you're trying to co-op with the people next to you, everything is just open and available, and that's just kind of there.
Yeah. Then it just becomes just barely too much, just enough to where you're like, I can't, I don't want to.
Because like if I didn't get these, like. This one would have gotten 17 points less. That would put it down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They'd put it down to a 77. It would put this one down 7 more. So these would have both been at 77. And then that one would be down 7 more. Be at 76. So I don't know if I still would have. Oh no, then that would be worth 5. So actually. Without these, you would have won.
Cool.
Because this would have been lower than that one, and that one would have just been a low. This was still the best city, but it wouldn't be as high as a 94. It'd be 77 to like 74 to 60 something. So yeah, this literally actually made me win the game, which you would think I would like, but I didn't earn that. Like, I was like, hey, lucky me!
Right, not the way we played it.
Exactly. So yeah, 8, 9, 8.5. Awesome. You guys have anything else to add?
No,
perfect. So that's our thoughts on Between Two Cities and its expansion, Between Two Cities Capitals. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this, and if you like this video, then click the subscribe button below to enjoy any video that I put out. And right next to that subscribe button is a little bell. Click that so you get notified of whenever I actually upload these videos. If you want to support the channel, you can definitely visit my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.